Hey guys, this is Jam of jamonline.ph and welcome back to my channel, and today we're gonna unbox and take a closer look at this smartphone. So this is the Realme C12, one of the latest budget smartphones from Realme. So what can we expect from this one? Well, we got here a 6.5-inch mini drop full screen display. It's an HD plus display. We got here a Helio G35 octa-core processor. We got 3 gigs of RAM and 32 gigs of internal storage, and of course a 6,000 milliamp hours of battery, which is really big. We still got here a fingerprint scanner at the back. We also got here a triple lens camera. We're gonna talk about that later on. And yeah, it's a really interesting smartphone, and it is priced at 5,990 pesos, which is really affordable. So what are we waiting for? Let's unbox and let's take a closer look at this smartphone. Okay, so the one that I got comes in 3 gigs of RAM with 32 gigs of internal storage, and the color is marine blue. So let's see what can we expect from this smartphone. So let's remove first the plastic. Okay, so yes, we got here the Realme C12, and time to remove the box and let's see what can we find inside the smartphone. All right, so of course, welcome to the Realme family, which is the typical yeah, the box that we have seen on previous Realme smartphones. The manuals and everything that you won't probably read unless you got a problem in your Realme C12. Of course, we got here the Realme C12 that we're gonna talk about that later. A micro USB to USB-A port and a 10 watts charger. Unfortunately, we do not have an 18 watts fast charging on this one, unlike the bigger brother, the Realme C15. Alright, so we already know what's inside the box of the Realme C12. Now time to test it out and time to set up the Realme C12. Alright guys, so you're looking at the Realme C12. It's a really affordable smartphone at 5,990. The one that we got comes with 3 gigs of RAM with 32 gigs of internal storage. So yeah, what can we expect from this one? Well, first we got here a 6.5-inch mini drop full screen HD plus display. It's a 1600 by 720 display. Inside is 3 gigs of RAM and 32 gigs of internal storage. And of course, the smartphone comes with the Helio G35 processor. As you can see, this one is really familiar because the design of the smartphone is actually similar to the Realme C15. The main difference is that we got here a quad camera setup on the Realme C15 and also an 18 watts fast charger. So yes, we're gonna place this on the side first. But of course, we still got here the large battery inside, the 6,000 milliamp hours of battery. We still got here a Realme UI inside, and we do got here a different camera setup. So we got here a 13 megapixel main camera, a 2 megapixel black and white lens, and a 2 megapixel macro lens. Unfortunately, we do not have here an ultra wide sensor. So actually you can see in here that one of the circle around here is actually the LED flash of the smartphone. So yeah, it's not really that surprising. So we still got here the fingerprint scanner at the back. On the right, we got here the power button along with the volume rocker, and below we got here the speaker grill, micro USB port, the 3.5mm headphone jack, and of course the card tray on the side, which houses a dual SIM card and also a micro SD card slot. Unfortunately, there's no fast charging on this one. We're reliant on the 10 watts charging of the smartphone, and yes, we do got here a large 6,000 milliamp hours of battery. So you already know the specifications. So what do I feel about the smartphone? Well, first, as you can see here, this one is a little bit big for me. I mean, it's 6.5-inch smartphone, so that's expected already for me. But since we got here 6,000 milliamp hours of battery, we do got here a chunky design. Medyo chunky in design niya, but it's still fine with me. Very portable to hold, very ergonomic pa din, despite the large and thick body of the smartphone, thanks to the curves on the side. And this one is made up of plastic, but we do got here some geometric patterns at the back. We also have here some patterns and texture at the back, as you can hear the scratches from the back, and it actually reminds me of the Realme C3 that we have reviewed before. Actually, the back of the Realme C15 is very similar to the Realme C12. I do not know if you can see any difference on that one, but yeah, it's very similar. I'm not sure if the triangle is actually smaller on the Realme C12. I'm not sure, but yeah, It's a really nice design. It's cool to the eyes. It doesn't look cheap, but yes, it's made up of plastic. But yeah, I prefer plastic sometimes on smartphones. So you can see here that we got here the 6.5-inch HD plus mini drop full screen display. We got here the mini notch at the top. The bezels are just fine with me. We got here a little bit of chin. We got rounded corners on the display, and the display is fine. I mean, we got here a colored display. Of course, it's a colored display, but we do got here a nice display. The colors are just fine. I mean, the viewing angles, as you can see on this one. Okay, so we're gonna max it out. You can see that the viewing angles of this one is fine with me. I mean, I'm not having any problems with the viewing angles of the Realme C12, and it's already bright enough. The display is very similar to the Realme C15 that I've shown you earlier, but yeah, I do not have any problems with the display of the Realme C12. Okay, so going to the software, the Realme UI is one of the best softwares out there in the market. I mean, it's fast, it is really sleek, and I like the colors that we're getting in here. You can see here the colors of the icons and the UI. It's very user-friendly. There are only a few applications that comes pre-installed on the smartphone, but of course, let's go dito sa settings and let's see the software. So we're running the Realme UI v1.0, Android 10, 3 gigs of RAM. We got here 32 gigs of internal storage, but the available storage right now is 18.9. Yeah, expected naman na malaki yung kinain niya. We still got here some applications that comes pre-installed on the smartphone. You can uninstall some of them if you want to. If you don't want Google One, you can uninstall that one. We got Up Cloud. Okay, so this one is from Realme. We got Lazada over here. You can uninstall that one. So yeah, uninstalling the applications that are built in on the smartphone won't do much change para sa Realme C12. But if you want, yeah, just uninstall that one. But yeah, you can see here, it's still fast, really responsive, and the display is just fine. Okay, so you already know the applications, you already know the UI. How about the camera? Okay, so going back to camera, we got here a different camera setup compared to the Realme C15. So again, we got here a main 13 megapixel main camera. I'm not sure which one is which. We also got here a 2 megapixel BMW lens and also a 2 megapixel macro lens. The other one is just the flash. You can see the flash over here, right? So yeah, the fingerprint scanner is easily reachable naman, so I do not have any problems with that unless you got a really small hand. I mean, the fingerprint scanner is placed at the top of the smartphone, so medyo mataas siya ng konti, but abot naman siya para sa akin, so I do not have any problems personally on the Realme C12. So looking at the camera software, you could see here, this one is very user-friendly. We got here the video, the night mode, photo mode. Let's see sa video, what can we record is a video, so we can record at 1080p at 30 frames per second. That is expected on the smartphone. I mean, it's fine that we got 1080p and 30 FPS. I mean, it's a Helio G35 processor. Okay, so we got here the portrait mode, and of course, the more you could use the ultra macro, expert mode, Google Lens, panorama, time lapse, and slow mo. Unfortunately, the smartphone doesn't have an ultra wide angle lens, so you have to rely on the triple lens camera that I have mentioned earlier. So speaking of the camera, how about checking out the camera of the smartphone? Some of the shots that I took earlier. Okay, so there's nothing much to see on the camera side of the smartphone. I mean, it's a fine camera on the smartphone. It doesn't have ultra wide, unfortunately, but the 13 megapixel camera, it will do a fine job for its price. I mean, it's a budget smartphone, so don't expect too much from the smartphone. So I'm just happy with what we're getting on the Realme C12. So we already know what can we expect from the Realme C12. We already know the hardware, the software, and the camera. It's just a perfect smartphone for who are in the budget right now. The camera is just fine. It's not the best one, but it will do the job fine. Pero if you're asking me, is it worth it? Well, we got here a really close contender, which is actually their own smartphone, the Realme C15. Just add 500 pesos and you're getting an 18 watts charger, and you're also getting a 6,000, we also got here 6,000 mAh of battery. We got here an 18 watts charging and also a quad camera setup. But the thing is, some people might say na, okay, 500 pesos is still a lot of money for me. So if you cannot reach the budget for the Realme C15, you can get the Realme C12. It's a capable smartphone, G35. We also got here a 6,000 mAh of battery, pang matagalan yon. And we got here a large display, which is perfect for those people who are online schooling right now. The large display is a must-have for people who are on online school right now. So yeah, I guess that's it dito sa ating unboxing and hands-on of the Realme C12. So if you like this video, don't forget to give us a thumbs up. And of course, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, be sure to click that subscribe button along with that bell button to get notified of the latest videos here at the Jam Online YouTube channel. So once again, I am Jam of jamonline.ph. Thank you for watching and see you guys again sa susunod na video.